couple days ago I talked about a couple of Great Phase's recent tweets, and you guys wanted part 2. So here it is. Great Phase is a new leaker who seems to have a great track record, getting almost everything they leaked about Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness right. But like I always say, take this with a grain of salt no matter how accurate someone's track record is, as things can and will change before some of these projects even go into development. And if these are all fan fiction, at least they're interesting to read. But anyways, Great Phase has tweeted that Blade will debut in Werewolf by Night. Blade will bring a very gothic and underworld vibe to the MCU. We will see the underworld of vampire and monster hunting in the MCU. Delroy Lindo is playing Jamal Afari. Blade will have scenes in the past, but the main bulk of the movie is in present day. It's less time periods than the Eternals was. Expect a very gothic feel to it. I think these flashback scenes are used to show Dracula in the past and Blade's relationship with Jamal Afari. Blade's extended cast of characters are still a bit up in the air. These are some of the names that I've heard that I know for sure are in it. Jamal Afari, Taj Natal, Quincy Harker, Dracula, and Black Knight. Names that I've heard might be in it are Frank Drake, Elsa Bloodstone, Rachel Van Helsing, and Fallon Gray. Blade appearing in Werewolf by Night does make sense, and it's been heavily rumored to be the case for a while. But it's interesting that after Blade appears in Werewolf by Night won't return in Blade. While there was a lot of talk and rumors of Dracula appearing in Moon Knight, it does make more sense for him to appear in Blade instead. And of course, with Blade technically making his MCU debut in the Eternals, it makes sense for Black Knight to appear in the movie as well. Great Phase then goes on to talk about What If Season 2, saying I don't know too much about it. Unclear if it's 9 or 10 episodes. The season will include the Tony and Gamora episode that was cut from Season 1 due to COVID. One episode will be a Captain Carter continuation, one episode is based around Black Widow, one is the Eternals, and another is Shang-Chi. We also have a What If Season 2 leak from 4chan which corroborates this. Although the two they mentioned, Tony and Gamora, and the Captain Carter episodes were quite obviously gonna appear, as the Iron Man one was supposed to appear in Season 1, and the Captain Carter one was set up to be continued. Anyways, the leak says, this season will consist of 8 episodes and be more of an anthology than Season 1. Episode 1 will be What If Iron Man Traveled to Sakaar. This is the episode from the previous season postponed due to COVID. The only change they made to the script is that the Watcher at the beginning says something like, "You probably were confused as to why I recruited Gamora, destroyer of Thanos. Here's the reason." So it seems like it'll still play out the same way it would have in Season 1, but instead, they might have changed it to be more of a flashback. Episode 2 will be What If Captain Carter Fought the Winter Soldier, and is a continuation of the post-credit scene of Season 1. Episode 5 is What If the Soviets Built the Arc Reactor. Anton Vanko was able to rebuild the Arc Reactor after he's deported to the USSR, and uses the technology to build the Crimson Dynamo armor. S.H.I.E.L.D. sends Hank Pym, Janet Van Dyne, and Nick Fury to Siberia to destroy the reactor and bring back the armor schematics for the US. During the mission, Ant-Man fights the Red Guardian. And episode 7 is What If Wanda used to watch musicals. Just a fun episode in the WandaVision style, with Easter eggs of several different musicals like Les Miserables, The Lion King, The Phantom of the Opera, and even Cats. The 4chan What If leak doesn't really give us any more details than Great Phase does, although seeing Crimson Dynamo and Ant-Man fight the Red Guardian will be cool. I though am more interested in the Eternals, Shang-Chi, and Black Widow episodes. Great Phase then goes on to talk about Spider-Man 4 and some of Sony's upcoming projects, saying Spider-Man 4 is happening, either a late 2024 or summer 2025 release date, and Marvel Studios will take their time to find a new director. No, Madam Web is not a Marvel Studios production. To tell you the truth, Sony has no idea what it even is. It's supposed to film later this year in Boston and be ready for a potential June 2023 release date. Kraven comes out in January and still hasn't started filming, and this was obviously posted way before Kraven started filming. In terms of the Olivia Wilde Spider-Woman film being a Marvel Studios and Sony production, we'll have to wait and see. Things will be a whole lot clearer once MCU Spider-Man 4 is officially announced by the trades and the studios. Now, I don't think that Sony's plan for their universe will ever be clear, as it was just revealed that they've completely removed all mention of Spider-Man and Morbius' post-credit scene with Vulture. So what their plan now is, or which Spider-Man they're going to use, or if they're going to introduce a new one, is unknown. Great Phase also says that it's highly unlikely that Keaton plays Vulture again, and this makes sense as it seems that Sony just ripped him out of the MCU without asking, and could be one of the reasons why Marvel Studios refused to help with Morbius. They then go on to say that Fisk, Murdoch, and Jessica Jones will be very similar and inspired from the Netflix shows, but they are setting up a much broader story now within the MCU. Jessica Jones will debut in Echo. Echo and Daredevil will be the main players in this new street level side of the MCU. I know that the Echo series sets up a lot of what will be this new side of the MCU, and Hawkeye was only the beginning. Expect Daredevil to actually be swinging around a lot more. No sign of Michael Coulter or Finn Jones returning. Odds are they're rebooted and recast. And the same is true for the actress that plays Elektra. The Punisher will definitely be different from Netflix if Marvel decides to bring him back into the fold. Obviously, Bernthal will reprise the role, but he later says that John Bernthal hasn't signed onto anything yet. Doesn't mean that he won't, but that's the truth. Anyone saying otherwise is lying. It's a difficult situation with the character and how he's depicted and presented. Changes will need to be made. They continue by saying the Echo series will really be setting up the new story for these characters. They aren't continuing on from where the Netflix stuff ended. There's likely no hand involved, and everything now revolves around Wilson Fisk. I expect Echo to start out in the Midwest on a reservation and eventually have her be forced to return to the city. Daredevil's new show will likely continue from where he's left off at the end of Echo. Now this all makes sense and really isn't that surprising, but I know that a lot of fans are going to be upset that they're not continuing on from where Netflix ended. I don't really think that's a big deal, and I think now that they have Echo and the Avengers and the rest of these characters that Marvel Studios can play with, the amount of stuff that they can do with these characters now will completely overshadow anything that Netflix did. But let me know what you guys think about all this. How excited are you for Blade, and which characters would you like to see appear in the movie? What episodes would you like to see in What If Season 2? And how excited are you to see where Marvel Studios takes Daredevil and the Defenders next? If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you will never miss another video. Thanks for watching, and remember to wash your hands and stay safe.